Well, today is a project that has been organised by the Ulster Scots Agency. So we're going into all 9 counties with a show that's based on famous scientists and engineers from the Ulster Scots. So we start with Hans Sloane in the 1660s, he was born 1660, and we finish off with Neil Armstrong, who's born 1930. So a nice little journey. So in terms of the science, we're going to look at the historical journey of how science has developed over the last 300 years, how the scientists work without electricity, and then we've got electricity. A lot of them are saving lives, and so they're heroes. So basically, the 13 I've chosen would be my considered scientific heroes.
Well, our school's done a whole lot of work with the Ulster Scots Agency in the past. We've done quite a few workshops just making the boys aware of this sort of culture. And what we thought was, what can you match together? Boys in secondary school love science. They love getting explosions, so if there was some way that those two things could come together, it would be magic. And lo and behold, we've now got a science workshop that is just Ulster Scots to the nines.
And let's go 3, 2, 1. And they just died. I wasn't aware of how many of the scientists that embed the world of physics and chemistry were local. So for me, it was amazing. I think anyone that's told a story, you always remember a story much more than you do some fact. And so what we're doing here is we're going on a story, and hopefully, whenever they encourage, whenever they start doing this type of science in secondary school, they remember, oh, that was when Scientific Zoo was doing that, or that was a little story that I had heard. But anything that we do, if you make it fun and engaging, and so using volunteers makes it very engaging, and they can see them, it helps things learn.
There's nothing better than seeing someone from your local community, someone who has walked the same streets as you've walked, be world famous. And I think it's fantastic. We're always telling the pupils here, you can do it. These are ordinary people. They started out as ordinary people. And just to have them showcased, names that they've heard of, names that they've grown up learning, names that are in textbooks, to actually think for a minute, oh my goodness, these guys were here. These guys were once us, where we're sitting. They had to go to school just like us. And it gives them that little seed of hope, thinking, we could do this.
It actually takes 10 times more heat energy to heat up 1 gram of water by 1 degree than it does for steel. Unfortunately, rubber doesn't have that heat capacity, and it bursts really easily.
First of all, they take away the element of danger. They think this is something that we can't do in our science classes. The health and safety alone, for a classroom full of 30 pupils isn't going to help, but also then just the resources, the funding. To have someone come in, first of all, it makes the pupils think this is special, this is somebody special coming in, and then to give them the opportunity to do these things, because it's all very well, you can show them a clip on YouTube, you can show it on the TV, but to give them the hands-on opportunity of saying, you can be in control of this, you are the one making that explosion, you are making that fire, is something they've never got before.
It was something that was new. This is way different than the science that we do in our class. We wouldn't be taking off rockets.
Enjoyed getting out of class this morning, and it's different science because we're always doing experiments in there, and in science sometimes we're learning as well. Science can be fun, but when we're not doing practical or anything, it can get a bit boring.
Well, the very first question I ask is, how many of you are scientists? Very, very few people put their hands up. There's a very negative aspect to science and being a scientist and mathematician. So one of the key things is for them to leave realising we're all scientists, and science is fun, it's amazing, it is awesome, and they're going to leave on a high, very positive, and hopefully feeling that science is for them. It doesn't have to be a career, that everything they do at home is going to be science, and then that makes it a much more positive subject, and hopefully then some of them will continue and study it and become awesome scientists. There's danger. They get to eat and taste, so some of them are seeing the ice cream being made, they want to eat it. They're very envious that that person's getting to eat that and taste the hot chocolate. A lot of the things also they can do at home. So when we're playing with the colour changes, the red cabbage experiments will allow them to do that at home, with the marshmallows expanding and mashing. There's a lot that they see and using household equipment and stuff that they can go back in. And this project is giving the teachers, like it's a 79-page teaching booklet, so the teachers themselves will be able to do many of the experiments that we're doing today in the classroom with them, which will then reinforce what we're doing.
Show me a fist and a pointy finger. And you're just going to touch that piece of metal, nothing else. Brilliant. Keep that there. So what we've got then is we've found out humans, like metal wires, conduct electricity. Just you two stop holding hands. Hold hands again. Stop holding hands. Hold hands again. Switch it on, switch it off.
I learned like whenever you want to get like your hands heat up and all them things, you need like propellers to get the planes to like go up now.
So we're going to go once and then we'll let it go. Go.
They've done an experiment about pressure, and when you suck the air out of it, it made them bigger, and when you put the air in, it made them smaller. They've done the experiment about Lord Kelvin, and when they put the chocolate and the ice and the cream, all to make the ice cream. I think it was interesting because like all these people were local. John Dunlop made the wheel that you can pump up, and if you tilt it when it's going slow, it stops, but if you tilt it really fast, it just stays the same. And it's called a gyroscope. When they put pressure into the bottle and it took off like a rocket.
9, 10. Woo!
At the end, they showed us an experiment about James Martin, and they showed us how the ejector seat works.
3, 2, 1. Woo! Yes! Now, can you imagine how your heart would be going if you're sitting on that chair?
We try and say the only way you're going to learn is from your mistakes, and it's okay to make a mistake, and to have a mistake in a science lab where it's controlled, where you've got some support there, where you've got something to think, right, well, what did we do, what went wrong, and how are we going to improve it? That boosts the confidence, but it also boosts their learning, because the next time around they've thought, I'm not going to do it that way, I'm going to try this instead. And that's what it's growing up's all about. Try something new, get out there, try it, you know.
Originally I was a teacher, so I taught in Wellington College in Belfast, but I also did the school plays. So I then realised by joining the drama in with the science, it actually made learning much more fun, and for quite a lot of the students, it actually gave them the hooks to make science much more accessible. And so what I do now is I take that whole learning experience into schools and colleges, not just across Ireland, but the UK, in the United Arab Emirates and Nigeria. So I've been in loads of places with the science. For me, I've loved the historical journey. I've lived in Northern Ireland for 37 years, and I found out more about the history of the province that I live in by doing this show than ever. And so I've really enjoyed the personal education that I've gone through in developing this show.